Trumps are your babies, too. She said,
Scarlett Johansson's SNL cameo as Ivanka Trump pokes fun at Christmas at the White House in December 16. Saturday Night Live's opening sketch envisioned what President Donald Trump's first official Christmas in the White House might be like. And Scarlett Johansson made a cameo on SNL as Ivanka Trump, the first daughter of the nation in the episode. SNL often focuses on Trump, regularly played by Alec Baldwin during its opening sketch, but this one pulled out all the stops for the holiday. In the sketch, various members of the Trump administration, played by various SNL cast members, stopped by the White House to bring ornaments for the shame Christmas tree representing former employees. Cecily Strong reprised her role as First Lady Melania Trump, along with Kate McKinnon, who played double duty as both Kellyanne Conway and Attorney General Jeff Sessions, dressed as the elf on the shelf. Leslie Jones took on the role of recently departed White House staffer Omarosa Manigault-Newman. In the sketch, Baldwin's Trump called Ivanka his favorite daughter upon Johansson's arrival into the scene, and he asked her where her husband Jared Kushner was. She replied he's packing a go-bag before the FBI arrives. I'll always remember the one time I heard him talk. Ivanka brought him 2 ornaments, one of Republican Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore and a mad ball, meant to be a Steve Bannon ornament. As I said, there's a special place in hell and we're all there, she said in the sketch. Eric and Donald Jr. dropped by as well with ornaments for the tree. Donald Jr. had a complex cutout with several ex-White House staffers, and Eric was proud of his macaroni star made with cooked macaroni. McKinnon's Jeff Sessions, though, had the most important ornament of them all, the tree's star, which is an angel/snake with the face of Robert Mueller. As the White House queued up some Christmas music, Trump's ears perked up when he heard the anthem song. Turns out, Jones Omarosa returned to the White House window, holding up a boombox playing the theme song referencing the classic single quote 80s film Say Anything. Omarosa made another appearance during Weekend Update as well. The episode was hosted by comedian Kevin Hart, and the musical guest was the band Foo Fighters. This isn't the first time Johansson has taken on the role of Ivanka Trump. The actor hosted SNL back in March and played the first daughter in a parody fragrance commercial for Ivanka, called Complicit. Johansson's SNL cameo also comes a few weeks after she made her first public appearance with reported boyfriend and SNL co-head writer Colin Jost, who also co-hosts Weekend Update. According to People, Jost and Johansson made their first public appearance at the American Museum of Natural History Gala in New York City on November 30th. People reported that the rumored couple has been romantically linked since May, but neither Jost nor Johansson have publicly confirmed the reported relationship. Baldwin often stops by SNL to play President Trump, but Ivanka does not have a regular portrayer on the show, though Johansson has played her several times. In 2016, guest host Emily Blunt portrayed Ivanka during the Beyoncé Sorry parody Melania Nod, the reference to Bey's acclaimed visual album Lemonade. Could Johansson's repeat appearance as Ivanka mean she'll be taking on the role more often? Fans and viewers can only hope. She seems to have a lot of fun with it, and Twitter is a fan of her impression. See Johansson's impression, the first daughter, for yourself in the video below and into the holiday spirit. Either way, it seems like Johansson was willing to reprise her role as Ivanka just in time for the holiday season. Thank you for watching. For the follow-up, subscribe to the channel yourself here.
Mr. O'Neill's height. Kudos to Mr. Hart here. His portrayal of Mr. O'Neill wasn't spot on by any stretch, but it was fun. When asked what she wanted for Christmas, Ms. McKinnon said, "I want out." A.D. Bryant showed up as Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the White House press secretary, with ornaments that featured mugs of her predecessors, Anthony Scaramucci and Sean Spicer, whose mangled corpses I stepped over to get this job. Vice President Mike Pence Bennett was next in line, apologizing for slurring his speech. He blamed a ginger ale. Then came this exchange, prompting one of the show's loudest laughs. "Mr. Baldwin, are you here to deck the halls, Mike?" Mr. Bennett: "Oh, I don't like that song because it mentions gay apparel." Omarosa Manigault-Newman, the White House aide, who left her job this week, appeared outside an Oval Office window, in the form of Leslie Jones, before being promptly dragged away again. More on her later. Scarlett Johansson made a cameo as Ivanka Trump, offering an ornament of Roy Moore, the Alabama Republican, who on Tuesday lost his bid for the Senate. "I thought for sure he would win, until he lost. Then I said I always knew he would lose," Mr. Baldwin said, referring to Mr. Moore. "At least America knows that I finally supported an accused child molester." Ms. Johansson responded, "As I said, there is a special place in hell, and we're all there." Kevin Hart's interesting monologue. Kevin Hart was the SNL host of Tru+mp, and his monologue focused mostly on having his third child. "I can admit to everybody that I wasn't excited about having a baby in the beginning. When we had the idea of having a baby, I wasn't thrilled. I didn't know if I wanted the baby. That's me being honest. Don't judge me. I'm being honest, I didn't know if I wanted the baby. The reason why is because I have got 2 babies already. My daughter is 12, my son is 10. I told my wife, I said, babe, I got the best of both worlds. I did it. We married. So technically, those babies are your babies. That's what I told her. Those are your babies, too. She said, I know, but they are old, and I want new ones. I said, well, first of all, don't talk about my kids like they're used cars, don't do that. Okay? These kids run perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with these kids. The monologue was interesting given that just this week, Mr. Hart had admitted on a New York radio show to cheating on his wife while she was pregnant. Ms. Jones returned as Ms. Newman during Weekend Update, insisting that she hadn't been fired. That's right, I quit, Ms. Jones said. I deactivated my ID card, changed the locks on my own office, I escorted myself off the premises, and then I threw myself into the bushes, and then a security guard showed up to once again escort Ms. Jones off the set, or maybe it was the other way around. You better take my arm, because I'm escorting you out of the studio, she said, referring to the guard, and you better throw me into the Christmas tree. This was the first SNL episode since it was announced that Colin Jost and Michael Che would become the co-head writers for the show. Mr. Jost Doug Jones has become the first Democrat to win a Senate seat in Alabama in over 20 years, said Roy Moore-Gross. Over 20 years? Mr. Che Democratic National Committee Chairman Tom Paris tweeted, Black women led us to victory, and we can't take that for granted. But I bet you will, and you know why? It's because Democrats know that black people aren't really Democrats. We just vote for the guy that looks less likely to put us on a boat. Here is how I vote. I look at both candidates. I listen to them speak, and then I ask myself, if I got pulled over, which one of these candidates would I rather see approaching my car? And it's almost always not the one on a horse. Mr. Jost police in Illinois arrested a man for drunk driving after he crashed his car into a ditch and told officers that his name was Burger King. Police then took out their tasers and had it their way. Mr. Che, the FCC approved a controversial plan to repeal net neutrality regulations. The move was spearheaded by FCC Chairman Ajit Pai, who I assume Trump picked because he looked at him one time and thought, I bet this guy does computers. Poor Shaquille O'Neal. This week, SNL took on the popular TNT basketball studio crew, featuring Charles Barkley, Kenan Thompson, Kenny Smith, Chris Redd, Ernie Johnson, Alex Moffat, and Mr. O'Neill being played by Mr. Hart. And while there were some digs at Mr. Barkley, the real butt of the sketch was Mr. O'Neill. At one point, Mr. Hart wished those of the Jewish faith a happy Hanukkah. Much of the sketch was non-sequiturs from the O'Neill character, which, if you've ever watched NBA games on TNT, isn't too far off. Here is a smattering. Shaq can't ride no horse, feet don't touch the ground. But you can't beat a dead horse, because dead horses tell no tales, because they're horses who lost their tails. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Every dog has his day, but it's nighttime, no time for dogs. Dogs don't sleep. So, it's cat time. Cats come out at night. Freaks come out at night. Shaq a freak. At one point, Mr. Thompson responded, Shaq, it's like a whole bunch of words got jumbled up in your brain, and the fire marshal said, everybody out. And then there was the physical comedy, when Mr. Hart emerged from behind the studio desk on stilts to convey Mr. O'Neill's height. Kudos to Mr. Hart here. His portrayal of Mr. O'Neill wasn't spot on by any stretch, but it was funny. It was surely a writer's dream, in which a bunch of random words could be thrown at a performer with a guarantee they would get laughs. Office phone call revolved around Mr. Hart, who, instead of just excusing himself and going to the restroom during meetings, concocts elaborate phone calls to leave. This was a great example of the surrounding cast somehow managing to not break character during a sketch. That plays to Mr. Hart's strength being absurd. Tonight, we raise our glasses to those who have to play it straight in sketches. Thank you for watching. For the follow-up, subscribe to the channel yourself here.
Take میثم اکبری. غافل شدم از گوشه قلبم داری میری، عاشق شدنم دست تو بود اینجا گیری. قبلا که میگفتی تا دنیا دنیا است، هم صحبت تنهایی من میشینه میری. از من دور دور نشی که هر جور جون بگی میدم تا هم نفس من چی، هم نفس من چی، عشق و دل من چی، زندگی من دلخوشی من.